You ever wonder why that super smart AI who's seeing a polished demo just completely falls apart in the real world? It's a huge problem. See, most AI is built for this perfect, clean digital space, not the messy, unpredictable physical world that we all actually live and work in. So today, let's dig into what's going wrong and how one company is building an AI that's actually designed for reality.
It all starts with something like this. This is a real voice note from a pantry staff member. It's not perfect, clean English. It's a mix of Hindi and English, what we call Hinglish. It's urgent, and it's definitely not typed into a neat little text box. This is the reality of day-to-day operations, and it's exactly where most AI systems just hit a wall and completely fail.
And this slide right here, it just nails the core of the problem. On one side, you've got the Silicon Valley assumption, this perfect, happy path where everything is structured and clean. But on the other side, you have the operational reality, which is chaotic. It's mixed languages, voice notes, and totally unpredictable problems. Standard AI is built for the world on the left, but we expect it to somehow work in the world on the right. See the problem?
And you know what? There's actually a name for this problem. It's called the deployment gap. It's this massive chasm between an AI that works perfectly in a controlled lab setting and one that can actually function out in the wild, in a real physical workplace. And closing this gap, well, that's the whole ballgame.
So how have companies tried to fix this? Well, the most common approach is, honestly, it's pretty flawed. What they do is they essentially put a simple conversational wrapper around a big language model like GPT-4. They take what you type, pass it to the model, and then just kind of hope for the best. It's a superficial layer, not a real, robust solution.
Right, so if that simple wrapper approach is basically doomed to fail when it meets real-world messiness, what's the alternative? How do you actually build an AI that can understand that voice note we heard at the beginning and then do something about it?
And this brings us to what Ani is doing, and their approach is just fundamentally different. They're not building another chatbot. Let's be clear on that. They are building infrastructure. You should think of it less like a friendly customer service agent and more like the foundational plumbing that makes the whole organization actually run.
Now, I love this metaphor they use. It makes everything click. Ani is the nervous system. It separates the brain, the part that understands the intent behind a request, from the muscles, which are the systems that actually carry out the physical execution. That separation is absolutely critical to making sure a vague, messy request results in a reliable, predictable action.
So how does this nervous system actually work? Well, it's a four-step loop. Let's use that voice note from the start. First, it ingests that messy Hinglish input. Then, step 2, inference. This is where the magic happens. It cleans up the audio, figures out what boardroom and HDMI mean, and flags the urgency. Third, it orchestrates. It checks who's on duty, what the service agreements are, all that back-end stuff. And finally, step 4, it executes. It creates a ticket, sends out a tech, and lets the user know it's being handled. Just like that, chaos is turned into concrete action.
Okay, so that's the theory, and it sounds great. But how does this infrastructure approach really stack up against those wrapper solutions we talked about earlier? Let's take a look.
This table just lays it all out, plain and simple. While the incumbents are just digital wrappers that need perfect text and a great internet connection, Omni is true inference infrastructure. Look at the inputs. They can handle messy voice and mixed languages. Connectivity? They're built to be offline first. But here's the kicker for me. Look at execution. The incumbents are stuck in chat and Q&A. Omni creates a state change. A real physical action happens in the world, and that's the whole point.
And that difference between just answering questions and actually taking action, it leads to this complete shift in how the system works. It goes from being reactive to being truly proactive. And this is where you get that real wow moment.
So here's the old reactive way. We've all been through this nightmare, right? You say, book a room, and you're immediately stuck in this frustrating game of 20 questions. It has no context, it makes a dumb choice, and you, the user, are just left annoyed because the room's too small or it doesn't have a whiteboard. It's just painful.
Now, contrast that with the Ani way. The user gives a really vague intent. Team is coming in Tuesday. Ani doesn't ask a dozen questions. It silently uses context, like knowing the user's team has 5 people, and then it proactively executes the entire workflow. It books desks, a breakout room, it even pre-approves their parking. It doesn't just answer a question, it solves the entire underlying problem for you.
So you have to be wondering, where did a system this robust and context-aware even come from? Well, it wasn't dreamed up in some pristine lab. No, this thing was forged in the fires of real-world complexity.
This is so important to understand. Owoni didn't just decide to pivot to AI because it's the hot new trend. This engine was born out of pure, raw operational need at a company called Earthspace, which was managing millions of square feet of facility space in India. They had to build this intelligence just to survive the day-to-day operational chaos. And operating in that environment gave them a unique defensible advantage, their moat. They developed native handling from mixed languages and heavy accents. They built resilience from massive scale and spotty internet. And they absolutely perfected strict orchestration, that art of turning a vague wish into a precise, reliable database action. These aren't just features on a slide, these are battle scars.
And this final quote, man, it just brings everything home and sums up their entire philosophy. The absolute chaos of a Monday morning in a massive Bangalore tech park is one of the toughest operational environments on Earth. And their thinking is simple. If you can build an AI that not only survives but actually thrives there, you can solve these operational challenges anywhere. And that is a powerful vision for an AI that is finally ready for the real world.